Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I knew like who was on daytime talk show TV right now.
Why?
Because I can see us coming out of somebody's green room onto the stage. The audience is there. The lights are there.
Out to this. Yeah. So, have I ever told you that one of the ways Cody and I bonded was that we would pass raps back and forth in high school?
Oh, no. I was unaware of this gold nugget of truth.
Yes. So we would write, I mean, just the most gangster. Like, if they ever would have been
We had
seized, we would have been in big troubles.
I think Brett was learning. Oh no, my mom cried when she found some of them.
There you go. Mom cried.
Yeah, Brett had was it Sony Vegas or Acid?
Acid Planet.
Acid Planet, and then you would edit on the software, and then you also had all the instrumentals.
I remember Acid Planet.
Acid Planet. Acid Planet was fun because it was an ecosystem and a software. So you could upload it to the online platform and other people could hear your music. And in fact, we used to get in rap battles all the time.
We were good at freestyling.
Yeah.
Like actually good at it.
In high school, at my peak, I could probably freestyle 5 to 6 minutes straight without losing my flow.
Wow.
I remember we were in high school, and I had to do this presentation on Beowulf and Grendel, if you remember those stories, the epics. And the teacher, Miss Yother, was not a nice woman. She was pregnant, and she was very angry all the time.
She sounds short.
And she wasn't short, but she was angry, that's for sure. And she had paired me with Craig, who was perpetually high all the time. And I was high because I've been in this accident, and I look like the Terminator, and half my face is purple, and my eyes red, and I'm on these pills. And she knows that I'm not normally like this, but I show up like real goofy in the class. Like I'm slurring, I'm saying weird stuff. And she's like, "Are you guys ready to do your presentation?" I forgot about the presentation. Craig also was assuming I would do all the work because I'm the kind of person that would do all the work. And I'm like, "Craig, we're gonna have to do a rap battle. You're gonna have to get up there and freestyle this presentation with me." And Craig's like, "I have to go to the parking lot and get high first." So Craig goes to the parking lot, gets high, and then comes back. And he's like, "All right, let's do it." And I wish I could remember everything I said, but I do remember one really good line. And I got like and like the teacher wasn't even mad, and I called her a bitch in the line. I said, "I'll rip your own arm off and beat you with it. And if anyone asks, it was a geet that did it." And at some point, I called Miss Yother a bitch. But that line, because he's the king of the geets, and he rips his arm off and he beats him up. And I was like, I just made that up on the fly, bro. And I was like, that's how in the zone we were, in the flow state in high school with rap. Brett and I were rap battling every weekend for a while.
I cannot relate. I was not one to write flows.
You wrote deep poetry. You wrote deep. Roses.
I wrote poetry.
Roses floating in the bathtub and candlelight poetry.
That sounds like me now. I love that. Marland and I would have been good friends.
I wish I could roll one of those things off the top of my head right now, but I can't.
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I'm nowhere near that fast anymore mentally. Wish I was for sure. Anyways, hey, we're here.
Welcome to the episode.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday night.
Before you came, I was really hoping Annie was going to call me back. Before you came,
oh no,
just to make sure she
like before I walked in.
Yeah, she called me and I put her on speakerphone to make sure that she wouldn't say anything, vile and inappropriate. And she proceeded to read me the riot act because I had put in 2 loads of laundry and I'm not supposed to touch the laundry.
Oh, no.
But I really thought I was helping in that the laundry would help us move.
Just another thing off the list.
There's so many piles within the laundry room right now that it's crazy.
Okay.
She's like, "You're not supposed to touch the laundry." So I said, "Okay, cool." And then she told me all the things and all the reasons why I shouldn't touch the laundry.
Okay.
And then she told me that I am being put on punishment.
Oh no. That's
And then she took a gummy. So if we don't wrap this up in the next 90 minutes, I'm going to miss my regular opportunity to right my wrongs, which is ironically something we're talking about today,
okay.
which is keeping score, keeping track, keeping a mental tally of things that we know as either friends, as family members, as colleagues at work, whatever it is, as spouses, that we say, nah, you gonna owe me.
Yeah, we've all got a list, and we're doing things for people, and we're storing it for later.
And we are storing it for later.
Yeah, we've got a little. Well, I did last week X, Y, and Z, and then last month, I don't know if you remember, but you called me, and I did the thing.
The thing.
Yep. And so actually, you owe me 2X, and I'm claiming that now.
And it happens all the time.
Yeah.
I want to read you something. Have you ever felt disappointed in the relationship, not because you weren't trying, but because you were?
Ooh, that's profound.
It's not only profound, it is there's depth.
Yeah, it's accurate.
Very much so.
Yeah, absolutely. I can think of many times where I felt this way. I felt like I was trying so hard, and it's not being given back to me in even remotely the same capacity that I feel like I'm giving it.
Oh,
out.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you about maybe friends, family, but I'm going to tell you my story first to kind of anchor and then let you talk about. So for people that aren't aware, my wife and I have an online presence, carefully curated and crafted by her expertise. I have nothing to do with it. As we were going on that journey a couple of years ago, I started to feel some type of way. We'll just leave it there.
Okay.
Because I really don't know whether it was resentment, whether it was anger, whether it was frustration. All I knew is I had goals and I wanted to get to those goals, everybody together as a family.
You felt like?
I felt like we weren't achieving it fast enough for me.
Okay, you wanted more faster.
I wanted more. I wanted faster. And I didn't necessarily, maybe like a couple of years ago, particularly during COVID, there's a lot of questions that came up around, should parents have their kids online? I didn't really care about all that stuff. But it was a fair conversation. One individual that impacted me, I don't remember who said it, but essentially said, people are using their kids to rise, to reach their goals. And I never wanted to be a parent, even in the context of sports, to push my kid to do something that I could have done or didn't have a chance to do or anything like that. So I was very sensitive to that. But I knew as a family, we wanted to move forward. It got so bad that I came home from a work trip one weekend and basically almost walked out.
The door.
Well, not technically, because I wouldn't have anywhere to go because we live in the same. But the conversation we had after it was crazy.
You metaphorically almost walked out.
I basically said, this is like my last stand. And if we don't figure this thing out, like, it's going to break us. We ended up going to therapy a couple of weeks later. And this, in that room, in that session for the next almost 2 years, is where I learned this topic, learned about scorekeeping, learned about some of the things that I was going through and things that I needed for my relationships. So now let's walk through the male ecosystem for a second. That was a little heavy.
No, I'm glad you told me that. I didn't realize you. I knew a little bit about that, but I didn't realize the kind of length of it. I
only share bits and pieces because Annie really wants to be here when we tell the full story.
Sure.
So that could be if you're listening.
But if you put 2 years into it, then you 100%.
Oh.
Let's hear it.
You call me?
I did. We're in the middle of recording, but I just wanted to make sure that the laundry was okay and that you weren't mad at me anymore.
Well, I'm asking Instagram if I should murder you or let you live. So we're waiting on.
Do we get to vote as well, or?
Wait. You asked Instagram this?
I said he fucked up the laundry but made soup and bread. So I'm just wondering how annoyed I should be. So,
And when you say when you say fucked up the laundry, what you mean is I put 2-3 loads of laundry in and had the clothes already, or the kids fold other pieces of laundry.
no, that's not the point.
What's the point
What's the point? What did I ask you?
of life, or just of to not touch the laundry?
Correct. Did I not say that explicitly when I left the
But
house?
I was helping.
That's not the point.
Okay. Well, I just told the good people that we've been in therapy for so many years. Clearly, it's not been working. You're on speakerphone, by the
I
way.
resent that. Second of all, I need you to say it. What was the point?
Of doing the laundry?
No, what's the point of the disagreement?
Which disagreement? The one that we're having now, or me
my
doing the
God,
laundry?
Marlon.
Are you high?
Not yet. I fucking wish I was.
Is the bread good and is the soup good?
I don't know if I'm gonna eat it, honestly.
Oh, you're gonna not eat because you're angry with me?
She's gonna hunger strike you.
She's hunger striking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of
Let me
spite.
go. Let me feed your children, and you can think about what you did, and then you call me when you're ready.
Hey,
We love you, Annie.
I can't wait to come home to you tonight.
All right.
All right.
And there it was
And there we go.
a great illustration.
Oh man, I can't wait to get home.
What's the opposite of silent scorekeeping? Loud scorekeeping. It's a buzzer beater, whatever that was.
That's what the therapy bought you. Everything's out in the open, baby.
Well, now we know. Now we know. All right. So, with friends,
Yeah,
have you ever
100%. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so what comes to mind is, I'm the guy who always answers the phone when you're calling me about your girlfriend and you had yet another breakup and you're gonna ask for, or not ask for, but I'm gonna give you 2.5 hours so you can tell the same story
Oh no.
you've told to me with 4 different people over the course of the last 4 years, and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna do that for you out of love. However, when I call you and I need you to help me move a sofa, or I need you to show up as your best self to the thing we're about to do, or any number of things, and that's just not too much to ask. Like, it's too much to ask, and that to me can be, it's very infuriating, and you can definitely find ways to end friendships over that kind of stuff.
And then how did you resolve those issues?
I think for the friends you keep, it's you tell them.
Yeah.
1, you tell them, and 2, you are hopeful that they can receive that with enough humility for what it is, and take that information and maybe make a change, or at least honor the fact that you're trying to attempt to keep this relationship going. But yeah, do you have any stories like that?
Oh man.
Well, you were telling me about a friend the other day. I don't know if you want to get into it.
I definitely keep score in my friendships, more so to make sure that the investment is balanced. Otherwise, I'm basically throwing my time, which is valuable, into a leaky faucet, and I don't want to invest that way.
And do you, when you're keeping score with your friends, at least, are you vocalizing this at any point in any way?
I haven't. Actually, that's not true. I have, and I've done it extremely poorly. Tis a duel, good sir.
Tis a duel, good sir. Throw down the gauntlet.
And that's maybe not some of my proudest moments, but the frustration builds.
Yeah.
And ironically, I do the same thing with my family. But my family actually retreat as in I just stop all communication. It's actually overwhelming, and it's a coping mechanism for me to do that. But when I feel like the balance of me giving more versus them giving even equal is off kilter, I retreat. I don't know how do you do?
Do you have this at work at all?
Oh God.
Do I ever?
It is definitely bad because the job is paying you, so you have to show up.
Sure.
I don't have to treat everybody equally with the same level of intention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I get into the most trouble.
Yeah. I feel like I try to treat everybody with so much respect at work. And I try to build around me a positive culture in everything I do. And some people just receive it and literally never give it back.
Gosh, I could we can go fisticuffs. We could square up.
Yeah.
Right now on some of that stuff.
But I've decided that's who I want to be.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just not keeping track unless it's so egregious that it must be addressed.
Have you, and I want to get to your personal story in just a moment, but because I shared mine about my wife, I'm sure you've got a story and I can't wait to hear it. But have you ever noticed in the scorekeeping when you're talking to either friends or colleagues or family members, any patterns that kind of surface, whether it's something that the external people are doing or whether it's something that you're noticing that is frustrating you in that moment?
Say more about that.
Is it when you are overexerting yourself? You're going above and beyond in the particular relationship. Maybe you don't have the time, but you're making the time. And on the other side, they have the time, but they're not making the time.
Like, am I noticing I'm scorekeeping after any particular effort I made or okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. If I feel like I'm going above and beyond, remembering things or, calling you at a specific date or, touch base about a thing I remembered was important to you, or
doing the laundry when I was explicitly told not to.
I remembered a thing you love and I bought it on my trip I was on and I gave it to you and I got like nice. Okay, cool. That's good. Put a lot of effort into that.
I notice, particularly when it comes to gift giving, and this is where I really started to key in. If I spent the time to find the most obscure or specific item and the person does not immediately, and I mean immediately, put it on, wear it the next day or the following week,
get on their Instagram, do
and
a
talk
whole
about it,
reel about it.
You could bet your bottom dollar that I am not going to be doing that again.
I'm so lucky in this particular thing because both my wife and my son are excellent gift receivers.
Ah, that's such a blessing.
And the culture of my wife's family is to be an excellent gift receiver. Everything is the best thing that they've ever seen, ever. And oh my gosh, I can't believe you would ever think of me. And so to watch either one of them get a gift is so fun. And everyone feels so great after they've received that gift.
I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Speaking of family and Kate, I'm anxious to hear.
So yeah,
I haven't heard the story, so we're all hearing this for the first time.
I've got a great. When we were talking about this episode, so you and I, a little context setting. You and I sit around and talk about things we struggle with all the time.
Yeah,
that's the whole point of the podcast. Yeah. We've talked about this in the past. You have a background in therapy, and so you have a lot of terminology for a lot of these things. And so we've sat around and talked about some of this stuff. One of the things we talked about in the past, we thought we should do an episode on, is this concept of silent scorekeeping, because we all do it in so many facets of our life. And so we were thinking about stories we could tell that illuminate it, and I have one. So this, to me, is the moment that it kind of dawned on me what I was doing. And I came by it totally organically. So I'm a big gift giver. Kate, as I told you, is a big gift receiver. Mm-hmm. So I will get little trinkets that she likes, or flowers, or books, or whatever, and I'll give them to her throughout the week. If she's having a bad week, this effort ramps up dramatically. So she might be on a work call and turn around and find a huge bouquet of flowers and a bottle of Vouv and a card because she loves nice cards and a little
handwritten, I imagine.
Yes, and a little figurine and like her favorite snack. Right, I go all out. I'm trying to like, hey, you love gifts. You're having a shitty day. Let's turn this thing around. So we had one of those weeks where it had been a hard week, and I'd executed well on some of these events where like I've given you gifts, I've done the whole thing. I'm fucking killing it. Like I'm really on my game that week. So we go through. It's Friday night. Alex is going to his grandma's house.
Empty house.
Empty house. We're going to a nice dinner.
Okay.
We're drinking wine. We're eating good food. Get back to the house. I'm thinking like, let's go.
Tis.
Yes. And the vibe's off.
Automatically, you could tell.
Flat. Like, what is happening? And so I'm sitting on the couch. Kate is like busy bee in the kitchen. I'm like, what's going on here? So I can feel myself backsliding. Like the little boy in me is coming out and he's like, she doesn't even like me anyways. You know what I mean? And so I'm getting sulky. I'm getting quiet. I'm getting snappish.
And I can see her see you through the back of her head.
She's just like catching the vibes.
Oh yeah.
But then her vibes are radiating back at me like, don't you?
It's getting worse.
Don't you dare, sir. And so I'm going down this road. I've been down this road 100 times. But you have a great concept to illuminate what's happening here.
Exchange orientation.
Okay, tell me and us
is
about
what
that.
Is what we call it. It is when resentment usually isn't about what happened. It's about what was expected but never said.
Okay, say more about that.
And so your feeling of resentment in the moment, the expectation, I think your story, to just kind of depersonalize it to you for just a moment, we have been conditioned to believe if we find the nice woman, ask her out on a wonderful date, lay out the red carpet, then at the end of this, married or not, there's a level of expectation that
there's going to be some intimacy.
There's going to be some intimacy. There's going to be some. All right.
Something.
To be explicitly clear.
Yeah.
Someone is going to glory that night.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is the expectation we start to build up. And so when the reality of that expectation does not get met, there is immediate frustration, immediate rub, immediate resentment. And that resentment can fester, but it can also build.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is interesting in your story is the first thing that you're able to recognize the pattern, that this is something that has happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And you almost kind of zoom out of yourself for a moment.
Yeah, it was like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah. And say, okay, I've been here before. How do I navigate this? I think for most men, they don't disassociate. They stay in the zone. How were you able to disassociate? What is it that cued you into that?
I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I had a better answer for what maybe the podcasts I was listening to. Like, I don't know. But it truly dawned on me, like, you've been here before. I think, honestly, we'd had such a good night, and I was in such a good headspace when we got home. And the week we'd had was, made us so much closer.
Yeah.
I think I was just feeling the good vibes just enough to keep me from diving off the ledge.
Yeah.
And gave me like just enough space where I could say, I'm about to do it, but that's probably not going to work out for me.
Yeah, the emotional regulation of everything you just said. You had a good week. The vibes were there. You're building towards something. Why end a good run on such a sour moment? And I think philosophically, can you have a great time with your partner and it not lead to sex?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
But there's also moments when it should. And I think that why is important, because the intimacy for some people not just validates their feelings, but it reconnects them to the love that they often can't always express or feel that kind of exists between them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think and this isn't universally true, but guys need that. We need that physical connection.
Yeah.
This is so sad, but I use this with my wife all the time, this analogy, which is like, we're animals. I need you to pet me. Like, it's so lame, but you need to come up and touch me and rub my back and rub the back of my neck and put your arm around my arm and wrap your, arm around my waist and let me, put my arms around you, the whole thing. Like, I need that.
Yeah.
In the way that you need me to, ask you if you're okay. Do you need to talk about that? Like, all those things that matter so much to her, the physical side of that matters so much to me. I'm not proud of that, but it is the nature of me. Like,
I think you should be proud of it. And I think here's why. If we separate these two ideas right now, it's not really it's a trend, but it's more than a trend. It's a feeling that women have that men can put, specifically their spouses, can put them in their feminine, which means they feel that delicacy. They feel the desire to be caring and nurturing and all the things it is that you're wanting. I think on the flip side of that coin is men who feel revered and who feel that they are attractive and wanted by their partner is the same. It's the same thing, different side of the same coin.
right.
And so I think for women, that is, man, I feel really stuffy. Can you hear how stuffy I am? Hold on. Ooh-wee. Okay, I sound better. So for women who are kind of experiencing that, I think it's important for them to understand and acknowledge that men are also intimate physical creatures that need that level of attention. And before the keyboard warriors say, yo, that's gay, or any other attempt at lessening the male experience, if you've never had a woman while driving reach out and put her hand on your knee and just shh, woo, or grab your elbow or your arm and just slowly caress it,
Yeah.
or while you're at church, take her nails and just run it up the back of your head, then bro, I don't know what you've been doing.
Have you even lived?
Because there's nothing that communicates desire more than that level of intimacy.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to get back to the story at some
Yeah.
point, but how, to me, the story sounds like you were already having those intimate moments. So walk us through the dinner. Was the communication there?
Yeah. I mean, laughing, enjoying cocktails, getting loose, connecting over our day, connecting over the week.
So there was a mental block.
Yes. Well,
Intimacy
there's more.
wise.
There's
There's more to it.
Yes.
And
we get there.
And we get there. But I think, and I'd love your thoughts on this, particularly for those who are new to the marriage game, because
Sure.
we've been in this decades.
Yeah.
Okay. There's more to setting up the fancy event and having sex at the end of the night, that there's blockers in there.
Yeah.
And so some of those blockers can be many different things. And so I'm curious now if you could take us through pieces of the story to help us unpack what some of those blockers were, because that's what I'm kind of sensing.
So I'm on the couch. I'm going to finish the story.
Well,
okay.
Hopefully you finished.
Well played. Well played, sir. So I'm on the couch and I'm sulky, and we're at the precipice where I'm about to go full little boy and just get up and go doom scroll on the bed by myself, right? And that's the end. That's the end of the night. However, I have this out of body moment, and I literally just look at Kate and say, hey, I'd like to have sex with you tonight. And I'm not really sure what's happening right now, but there's something going on. And like, if I could help you do whatever needs to be done, because she was so busy, then I'd like to do that. Just talk to me and like, tell me what's going on. And she kind of stopped and looked at me for a second, like gauging whether or not she thought I was being serious or if this is something she should be mad about. And she was like, kind of like, okay, I'm game. You know, here's what's going on in my head. It rained all week. So the dogs have been coming in and out from the yard. And while we have vacuumed and we own 75 robot vacuums that work all day, you can still see paw prints on our floor. And that's driving me nuts. And on top of that, there's a birthday party tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And I didn't buy a gift yet. And the gift hasn't been wrapped yet. And we don't have a card yet. So at early in the morning, I'm going to have to get up and go to Target and get this gift and come back home and wrap it and then get Alex up and get him ready and do all of that stuff so we can make it to the birthday party. Meanwhile, I didn't even know we had a birthday party. So this is news to me. Oh, and also, it's our day for snack at soccer. So
Costco run.
The soccer game, I don't have the snacks yet. And Kate goes all out on snacks. It's pre-bagged. You know, every bag's got like a good mix of healthy snacks. So she's like, I got to go to the grocery store and get all those snacks plus the snacks for the rest of the week for Alex at school. Plus I need to do some grocery shopping for the meals we're going to have and go ahead and start prepping some of those meals. Like, mind you, Kate has a big girl job.
Yeah.
Bigger girl job than the job I have, like by far. And so she's doing all of this workload and I'm fully unaware. Like I'm a man who was born and raised in the South. My sweet mom did so much for me growing up. She did my laundry. She made all the food in the house. Like she worked, like both my parents worked. So I grew up in a healthy, like dynamic in that way, but still I grew up in the South where all of these things happened for me. And then through college, you know, I lived in a house with 10 people.
Oh, good Lord. I could never.
All of us had girlfriends and all of us were pigs. We were actual pigs. We threw huge parties all the time. I mean, Cody went and stayed at that house. That house was a frat house. And somehow that house wasn't a pigsty all the time. And I'm realizing now as a grown-ass man looking back like, oh my God, they cleaned the house and the dishes and they picked up the beer cans and the cigarette butts and all the stuff, right? So fully, I've gone through my life to this moment. And it's just dawned on me that Kate is not only managing our family calendar, but she's personally managing my calendar and making sure that I end up at the birthday party, making sure that we as a family end up with the appropriate things. And, you know, 3, we had obligations for the snack thing I wasn't even aware of, right? I knew there was a game, but I wasn't aware we had any responsibility. So I'm just sitting there dead ass quiet. Like,
I feel like we should give Kate a round of applause.
right? Yes. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I walked into this.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's an easy way out. So I'm like, okay.
Because it's a checklist.
Respect. My bad, first of all, for not knowing that any of that was going on.
For sure.
I apologize. I'm aware now. I would really love to help you with any and all of those things. So why don't you come sit right here and let's just map out how we can tackle this together. So we come up with a plan. I'm going to go do the thing in the morning early so she doesn't have to do all that shit. And then I'll do all the grocery things. She's going to clean up the house real quick and we knock it all out, right? We're just going to divvy it up. Lo and behold, after the house is clean, Kate is feeling very, very in her feels. Who knew? And so the lesson I took away from that was I had this expectation that I wasn't voicing. And she had this silent checklist that she wasn't sharing. And I'm certain she was over there thinking, must be nice to fucking sit on the couch right now while I'm fucking doing all this stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm over here thinking, cool, you're just going to putz around in the kitchen?
Now, I would have gotten up and hugged her 17 times and Annie would have probably thrown things in my direction before I got the hint. But so kudos to you for knowing exactly.
You would have made several attempts.
Oh, absolutely.
Drive-bys.
Here's what I heard you say. I heard you at least recognize that there was a problem. You went into vocalizing your needs. This is what I'd like. you're obviously not there yet. Can we find a middle ground? And then we start thinking through the potential solutions of what that could mean.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect way to do it. I don't think most men know that is a part of the steps that they should probably take.
I certainly didn't.
And whatever you were listening to ahead of time, maybe you're in your R&B feels at that moment. Maybe it was the podcast. Maybe there was a books, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It triggered something to say, let me check in and let me stop. And you were able to meet or at least achieve the end goal at the end of that. Sounds like the night.
Oh, we landed plane.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when we're, as men, as we're talking about and thinking about the types of engagements we're having with, particularly with our spouses, but with girlfriends or with family members or with individuals, we recognize that we're keeping things in lists that are going to have an output with the individuals that we're engaging that may not necessarily be how the others are feeling. And I think that's generally important for us to understand and for us to go through. Here's where I would like to take this.
Okay.
Because our situations are similar.
Okay.
But you found yours in the moment. It took me almost 1.5 years to get there. And so while Annie and I were in therapy, I start to learn and realize, first of all, our therapist was incredible.
Yeah. Shout out.
Huge shout out. I would love to have her on and have her walk us through what she thought of us when we walked in versus what she thought of us when we walked out.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because she walked us through the Gottman's marriage theory.
John Gottman.
Yeah. And there's a couple of things that we did. And I was going to ask you about your love languages, but we're going to pin that for a little bit later.
Okay.
So essentially this theory is that you have a foundation and then you build structures inside of your house. And as time goes on, you can add levels, but more so you're really filling out the exterior. You're really building this to be a structure. So your foundation is what you guys agree upon. It's how you understand your relationship contract. As you're building the architecture, it's your family values, it's your morals, it's the things that are going to make the couple exactly who they are. And at the very top, it's your dreams and aspirations. And that's where we were misaligned.
Mm.
And I didn't know this. So I had been keeping record of all the things, much like I'm very much Kate in this situation. I do the grocery shopping because if I didn't, we would come back with snacks and candy and chips and not the things we actually need to eat.
Sure.
And I do all the regular things because it's easier. But the one thing that I really wanted help with was what is our family's future going to look like? How are we going to get to wherever it is that we want to go? And we just couldn't find alignment. And here's what the problem really was. It's very interesting. We didn't know how to share the spotlight at the same time.
Oh.
She was hold resentment from whether it was work or whether it was other things that I would do. And then I would hold resentment for the things that she would do. And we were never able to quite align until we kind of went through this process, illuminated a lot of things. And then we realized, okay, it's not that we're not aligning our goals but it's that we need to figure out how to kind of let go some of this resentment and live more in the moment, which is why when she called today, we let it all hang out. We don't hold it back because that is a potential for us to keep that inside. And then it just festers and then it starts to build from there.
After all the work you've done in therapy, do you feel like even when you guys have a little scuffle because you left it out, because you said your expectation or you said you set the expectation that wasn't being met, do you feel like you could be here and not be so worried that this is going to be a big deal later when you get home?
Yes.
Like, you've put work into, like, this is going to be fine.
Yeah. we couldn't be here doing this. And this is what I've realized now. I didn't know it at the time, but this is what I realize now. We wouldn't be able to do all the things we're doing now, not just with the podcast, but with everything else, if we didn't align 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've been living off the residuals of that work for so long. And we have check-ins and we do little things to make sure that we're aligned. And we set our priorities together and all those little smaller things that make it important to make a relationship work. So that, and this is Annie's really big kind of deal for her, is she doesn't want me to keep resentment. So she'll check in, she'll push. If we were in your situation and she said, maybe she was supposed to have 3 drinks, but she had 4. And if the last 2 were espresso martinis, and she's going to have a hangover the next day, which means then that we're probably not going to have the wonderful night that I'm hoping, or she's not going to feel well, and all these types of things. So we've put up so many different kind of checks along the way to make sure that we're connecting in that respect.
Yeah.
And that's been really healthy as we move forward throughout our marriage and our long time together.
So these check-ins, do you feel like they are like, because everyone's going to continue to do this silent scorekeeping thing, right? The only thing we could change or hope for is that we're vocalizing these expectations and, setting new or correct expectations respectfully with each other. You got to communicate. So as you guys moving forward after all this work, you're saying she kind of checks in a lot more. Do you guys like clear the trash, so to speak? Like some stuff will build up in the trash can, but then you kind of like clear it regularly.
We got to clear the garbage. We got to clear the garbage. We have to realign, and then we can continue.
And how often do y'all do that?
Oh man, a lot more lately.
Phases of life.
It's been a lot more lately because there's just a lot of moving pieces going on, and I needed her to know that my love is not conditional to either how I feel in the moment, but it really does transcend, and I want to make sure that I communicate that to her.
Yeah.
Which is difficult when you're harboring resentment.
Sure.
As a matter of fact, I remember a buddy of mine was going through divorce, and I remember telling him, this is the worst advice I have ever given. I remember telling him, hey, you should probably like let out the fuse a little bit. Open the what do you call that? The little no.
The valve?
Yes.
He was trying to say let off some steam. But I like where you took that.
Yeah, you gotta open the valve and let off some steam.
Hey, bro, if you let out the
okay, that I realized how that sounded. In my head, I was thinking a teapot, but I also
Yes,
the word was the valve. Anyway, okay, we're I told him to let off some steam.
Yeah.
And I told him to slowly unload all the things he was dealing with in his relationship with her, but that she couldn't handle everything all at once.
Yeah.
And I think that mistake is kind of what kind of got me and my wife to where we were and needing therapy, is that there's no benefit in holding back some of the tallies that we're keeping. You have to be vulnerable enough and open enough to lay it all out on the table, which takes a lot more courage and a lot more honesty
and effort
than most of us are willing to give.
So I remember that you'd kind of had a phrase or you kind of perfectly put like a takeaway line for this episode. Do you remember what it was?
Are you trying to connect, or are you trying to be compensated?
Yeah. Bars.
And if you're trying to be compensated, then you may leave empty-handed, because the other party always has the right of refusal.
Right.
But if you're trying to connect, you'll never leave empty-handed, because even in the attempting effort of connecting, will you find precious gems along the way.
Wisdom.
Bars. Cody's Corner.
Oh boy.
With
I did have
C's.
some thoughts while
Okay.
you guys were talking about that stuff, and some questions for you. So whoever wants to take it. When I was growing up, I had this older friend named Paul who used to say, "Love keeps no record of wrongs." And
1 Corinthians 13.
yeah, I think it was Paul. I don't know. And
You the Bible character?
yeah, he's a buddy of mine. He wrote a lot of letters. He liked letters.
Traveled a lot, traveling salesman.
Yeah. He got locked up a lot. He got into some bad stuff. But anyways, yeah, I don't know if I always subscribe. I guess there was two things. You'd always hear things like the customer's always right, your wife's always right. You know, old men wisdom was like never argue with her. And
Happy
then the
wife,
love keeps
happy
no
life.
record of wrongs was always taken to an extreme. I felt like as like very black and white to me.
Yeah.
From hearing you guys talk about it, would your take on that be like love doesn't hold a grudge and keep record of wrongs forever, but it's like rather than keep it silently or try to pretend it doesn't exist, it sounds he's kept using the term like clearing out the trash. Like love keeps a record briefly in the open and then throws it away when it's done.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you're
That's how I think about it. I mean, name two people that couldn't, like, if you go on a road trip long enough with somebody, you're going to fight about something. Just two people in close proximity will eventually rub each other wrong about something.
I have a friend who's just outside and they actually got divorced after a road trip with us.
Oh my goodness.
And they said, and he came to my house and said it was because your wife on the road trip said, "Oh, she was being awful," and he was like, "That was the final straw that she noticed it," and
But I
that's
mean,
why
it's-
they got divorced. And it was a road trip. It puts a lot of stress on
It's
people.
so true that just you can't be in close proximity to anyone on this planet without rubbing each other the wrong way. And so if you're going to be married and live with someone, you're going to have to continually have these conversations and like repair it over and over again.
So it's not about always just
They're not always right. Of course, they're
saying
not always
someone's
right.
right,
I'm
or
right.
throwing away what you feel wrong. I also had questions about
Wait. I want to.
Shoot, yeah.
I hate to do this because this is not a theological show, but
No.
my background requires it.
Okay. Should we do a hymn first, or are you gonna hold up your hands?
Bridge over troubled waters.
Call and response.
So the idea
God is good
all the time.
There you go.
All the time.
I did that in the middle of a work meeting one day because there was a piano on the stage and people responded back and it was so funny.
Oh,
Oh,
It
that's
was
cool.
hilarious.
I like that.
I love that.
If you think about, picture it like this, particularly love keep no record of wrongs, which is a different version of the translation.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about everything that Kate needed to do is particularly a list. The list is there. There may not be any action items because you crossed out certain things on the list, but the list still stands.
Mhm.
So it's not that you're not keeping track of everything that's there. It's that you are not counting that against or penalizing someone because there is an open item that's on that list.
Mhm.
That is this very small but important difference
Yeah, I like that.
of love not keeping a record of wrongs. It really should say or figure out in the translations. I should say that I have a degree in theology, just
Yeah.
so that I'm not
You had
talking.
to learn like
Yeah.
Greek and Hebrew and,
All
and
that
get into
stuff,
the
yeah.
multiple ways we've kind of
Yeah.
bastardized the text and made
all those
turning
things.
the other cheek had a lot more context with Romans and soldier.
And all the whole shebang. But I think if you think about it in that context of, I'm not going to charge it to their account. I'm not going to request payment because of it. That is a very different story because you are then saying, this is a responsibility that they don't necessarily need to have in this moment.
Sure. I like that a lot.
That segues to the other question I had, which I think Marlon brought up, but both of you kind of touched on it, and it was less spouses, more about friends, which is all. I mean, scorekeeping happens anywhere. You kind of said with friends and family, but how do you decide? Both of you kind of mentioned compensation and connection, and then having like the friends you choose to continue with and you choose to level with. There was like a moment where Brett's like, "Oh, I don't really keep score. I just kind of let it go until it's too egregious." And then later he's like immediately telling a story where he kept score, where a guy like did something and he's like, "You didn't show up." And I'm like, that's the scorekeeping Marlon was talking about. You did do it.
Yeah.
But how do you decide who you're gonna level with, are you doing an evaluation? Is that person going to get it? Or is it kind of like a job interview and you're going, I don't think this guy's got the wattage for me to have this conversation and be fair with him? Are you kind of like limiting like how much effort you want to put in? Like where do you draw the lines on that, on like opening the taps for that conversation?
Well, I mean, I think we're all paying attention to how we're regarded,
Sure.
and no one wants to be the fool. And so much of it is, am I crossing over a line now at this point with all this effort where I'm just a fool? I look like a fool. I'm being a fool.
Is that ego though, to worry too much about that?
Oh, sure.
I mean, to some degree, yeah, in the sense that ego is protecting oneself, you know.
But also no friend, group, or person has the same level of threshold for it's enough.
Yeah, and friendship's not a one-way street. Like, you know whether you're receiving friendship or only giving friendship. And so if I don't feel like I'm receiving friendship, but I'm giving friendship, then why would I continue on down that road?
So it's like how people say you always remember how they made you feel. You might not remember the details. So that's kind of what you're left with, is like, this friend made me feel this way, like I wasn't getting a friend. Like they're just using me. They're calling you to get help and get therapy from you. In your example, Brett, 2 hours or whatever. And then the second you needed something, they weren't there. That doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So it's not about like the score and the reality. It's just the way you feel is going to naturally make you do that evaluation. But when do you make that conscious effort? You did it with Kate.
But I mean, scorekeeping itself is not something we can get rid of.
Right.
We all do it. It's just whether you're keeping tabs and never saying anything.
And
I
so
think the silent scorekeeping is the problem.
do you choose to be silent sometimes and then cut off? Like, where do you always try to be open? Do you always try to have the conversation?
Oh, like, if I'm cutting someone off, am I giving them the whole debrief about why?
Absolutely not.
I sent you listen, man, we were friends, but I just sent you a 7-page email and a PowerPoint, and I just detailed why I'm cutting you off.
I kind of meant the opposite. Do you just cut them off and never tell them?
Yeah, no,
And just
100%. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't.
Should we tell people that we're cutting them off?
I think if they call you and they want to know what's up, why,
I'd never answer the phone.
I have a friend that does this. He's cut off a lot of his friends. We're still friends. We've been friends for a long time. And he tells me why he does it. Oh, this guy did this thing, and this guy did this thing, and this guy did this thing, and repeatedly did this thing I didn't like. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, good Lord, I hope I never do any of those things. You know, there's times where I just think like, I hope I never get on the bad side. And you know, his wife even joked like, you're his last friend that like he keeps around that he likes, you know. And I was like, I guess I've never stepped over the line, but I would hope somebody would tell me.
yeah,
You
But
know?
is that really friendship? Not to be pedantic, but the idea of a friend versus the idea of acquaintance versus the idea of how I made you feel.
They should be able to talk to you, right?
I would agree, but all three of us could walk into a room and leave that room, and someone is going to feel like
they made a friend.
they made a friend.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a conversation. They feel something different.
Yeah.
So because they felt that way, they are going to continue to reach out. We may not feel that way in that moment.
Yeah.
And so they may get upset with us because we're not returning phone calls or whatever it is, but it's not bi-directional. So I'm saying in this moment, when we're talking about friendships, I'm coming to the table with an understanding that there's mutual skin in this game, and we're going to act accordingly. If this dissolves, it's because of something very specific, not because we just grew apart. Does that?
Yeah, well, yeah, and it goes back to what you ended the thing with, and it really resonated with me about, are you looking for a connection or compensation? I think I'm a person who tends to look for connection, and like Brett said at the beginning, like I will get to a point where I'm like realized, oh man, this whole time I've been investing, and then it's like the scales are way off, and then I'm upset, right? But as long as you keep that heart and the other person has that heart, you can probably make it work. I think that's where probably couples therapy comes in. They say, are you guys both wanting to make a connection? Like, you know, it's like, if you're still wanting to, we can fix all of this, you know. But the second somebody stops wanting to connect, they just want compensation, then you get the resentment and all that stuff. So that really hit me. I was like, that's a good way to phrase that. I like that a lot. So, I don't know. I didn't really have a ton of questions for you guys. Those are the only two.
Well,
So
Cue the music.
We ain't here for the postures or the masks we wear, not the highlight reels or the half-truth share. We talk repairs, staying when it's easier to run, showing up for the work when the honeymoon's done. Fathers, partners, friends, learning how to be, listening more than we speak, choosing honesty. No gurus, no crowns, just truth in the trying. We ain't lying, this is good man trying.